Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2 of this crash course. Today's video I'm going to go over fair value gaps and inversion fair value gaps, what they are and how to spot them. So it's fairly simple. Every day this happens, so I'm on the 1 hour just so it's not completely messy, but we'll start off with a bullish fair value gap. So over here we have a bullish candle that shows a lot of decisive a push to the upside. What happens is, because there's a big push, price leaves what's called a imbalance in this area. Fair value gaps they come in a 3 candle sequence, because the previous candle will put in a wicks high, and then the third candle will put in a wicks low right there. So if I actually go to my replay and actually skip just to this, let's make it a bit more clear. This creates a imbalance where price will look to rebalance it by coming back into it before potentially moving up, because it's a bullish fair value gap in this example. Now, price doesn't necessarily have to come all the way into it before pushing off. Price can, and the market will do whatever it wants. It could come into it a little bit, potentially push off, and then just come down. But it should be known as a place where price could potentially tap back into before pushing higher to rebalance this imbalance. So what we can see, we can watch what price does as the candles go forward on the 1 hour. Price enters the 1 hour fair value gap. The second 1 hour, the next hour, still retests this imbalance, nothing happens. And bear in mind this is at 8 p.m, so the market will probably just consolidate around this price. And it does so. Around London open on Friday, price comes back into this fair value gap, still comes into it. And as you can see, price is now looking to rebalance this fair value gap. It's still in it, and we can now see we're kind of getting a reaction off this fair value gap. We can continue ahead, and we can see now we're getting a bullish reaction where price is continuing higher. Now, price can do whatever it wants. It could continue going higher and rebalance this at a later date. But for right now, as you can see, we've come back into this bullish fair value gap, and we have expanded higher. So that is a bullish fair value gap. If I use this indicator, which I will put on the screen, and I will just go through my settings so you can pause the video. This is a great indicator to kind of help you understand and spot these fair value gaps. As you can see, there are loads throughout. So now, not necessarily every fair value gap has to be tapped into. So that's very important. Now, if I go into a bearish example, and I will go use the replay button here. What we have here is the exact same 3 candle pattern, but in this example, a bearish example. This is a gap, a volume imbalance in of itself. So with that in mind, this being a bearish fair value gap, price would potentially come back in here before pushing lower. Do we get that? We do. Price comes up here before pushing lower. So do you see how it works? And then we have another fair value gap here. Price comes into it, but it seems we get a rejection. It disrespects this fair value gap. Now, it's important to understand that what I've just gone over, are fair value gaps. Now, you might ask, well, what's an inversion fair value gap? It's a fair value gap that's just inverted. So what we had here, if I use my indicator, that's going to be a bit confusing. this becomes a bearish FVG. You can see price came into it, but it gets disrespected. Not yet. It gets disrespected as soon as this candle closes above it. When this happens, this now becomes a bullish inversion fair value gap. If I put my indicator on, you have to wait for the next candle. As you can see, ignore this and ignore this. We have a inversion fair value gap plus bullish. So price can now use this inversion fair value gap to come down to, if it lets me get my, there we go, down to before pushing higher. Now let's see if we get that. It seems like we don't. And this is why it's important to say price doesn't have to come here. It doesn't have to, but if it does, it could potentially indicate that we're going higher. Okay. Now, as you can see here on this indicator, we have the same. We have a bullish FVG here. We then have a swing, a up close candle that closes above it, creating an inversion fair value gap. We also have now a fair value gap here. So this could be a strong indicator that price is definitely going to go higher. We will skip ahead. We're playing around, and as you can see, price does go higher. So I hope that kind of gives an understanding of fair value gaps and inversion fair value gaps. If it has helped you, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to join the Discord with a link in the bio. Thank you. Bye bye.